Welcome to Marketing Game Changer Secrets, where you will learn from one of the top leaders in the network marketing industry. Teresa Harding has grown her team to over millions of people. She's grown online, she's grown offline, she's grown organically, and she is ready to show you the secrets. She's ready to change the way you think. She truly cares about the success of her team and the people that she teaches. So get ready to learn the tips, tricks, and secrets that will allow you to grow a successful business in the 21st century.
I'm Teresa Harding, and this is Marketing Game Changer Secrets. This podcast is for people who know that this industry is not about the network marketer anymore. It's about the people we serve and the change we can make in other people's lives. It's about the entrepreneur inside each of us who is trying to find our voice. It's for the people who want to change the world and are looking for the most powerful way to make that happen. Hey everyone, today I am going to teach you a really powerful secret. It's a powerful tip for your social media. You guys, this is the number one thing that people do on social media that turns people off. So if you want to know how to keep people attracted to you, to be the magnet and not have people going, ooh, I don't even want to listen to that person anymore, then keep listening, because this is really, truly powerful. And it is this. And I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll kind of go into a little bit of detail to explain some examples so that maybe it will help you as you are publishing and getting word out there and, sharing some of your life, sharing some of your stories. And just so you know, as we go through this podcast, I'm going to give you more and more information about publishing and exactly how to publish. In fact, that's what we're going to be covering over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to really go into it a lot more heavily because it is so powerful. It's one of the most powerful things you can do to create free lead generation online. So first of all, the number one tip, what not to do, and that is this. Do not share the problems in your life until you've had enough time to process them so that it adds value for your listeners. Let me say that again. Do not share the problems in your life or the hard things you're going through until you've had enough time to process them. Doesn't mean you have to have days. It might just be 5 minutes, but it might take you 3 weeks. Do not share them until you've had enough time to process them so that when you share it, it adds value to your listener and it helps them in their life or in their business or whatever it is. Okay, so for example, if I am in the middle of an argument with my spouse, so yes, sometimes we have those, so Roger and I, let's say that we're at odds with each other and I am kind of mad at him. Well, guess what? That now is not the time to get on my social media and say, okay, so I'm really mad at Roger right now. And, he did this or that, or, I am trying to figure out how to handle this. That is the worst thing you can do. You wait until you've processed it. And then imagine the difference when I share it like this. When I say, okay, so you guys, Roger and I, we had a difference of opinion. Let's just call it a difference of opinion. We were not happy and it was kind of intense and we were at odds with each other, okay? And I just want, bottom line is we totally disagreed and we still disagree about this particular topic. But what I want to tell you is this, that I realized, because at first I was only willing to look at my side of the issue. But the minute that I humbled myself enough to think what he must be feeling, like if that was me, if I was the one on his side of this discussion, I would be feeling hurt, or I would be feeling lonely, or I would be feeling whatever. And I think about how that feels and that I love this person and that it matters to me that he's feeling that way. Then all of a sudden, it didn't change my opinion about the topic, but it changed the way I was addressing him and the way that I approached it with him. And I cared more to validate what he was feeling, to hear him out, to listen better. And when I didn't feel listened to, I was way more calm about saying, hey, I listened to you. I wanted to hear what you had to say, but I would like you to listen to my side of what, the feelings that I have about this. It completely changed. Isn't it interesting that when we let go of our pride for just a little bit, all of a sudden it changes everything? So you see how I used the hard thing and I let my listeners know that, yes, I'm not perfect. Yes, we are at odds sometimes. And yes, we get in arguments. But this is what I learned. And if you can learn from me to be a better person, then that would be awesome. Now, let's say that I am in the middle of something frustrating with one of my builders on my team, and I've had it. Then maybe I can process it fast enough. Maybe I don't need to wait 3 weeks. Maybe I don't need to resolve the problem. It might take a year before we learn to work better together. But I don't need to wait a year to bring it up on my social media. Remember, it's just as long as it takes for you to process it enough so that you can add value for the listener. This is not a woe is me session. This is not for you to get your needs met by your listeners. This is me bringing value to you. So if that's the case, the only way I'm bringing that to you right now, if we haven't finished resolving it, is if I'm saying, okay, you guys know that I have, over 5 million people on my team, so you won't know who I'm talking about. But over the last several months or yesterday, I wouldn't even use yesterday, because the reality is that person is going to know who you're talking about. You absolutely don't want it to be that way. You don't want it to be where that person feels called out. So I wait long enough and use words that are generic enough to describe the story that they can't possibly know if it's them. Okay. And there's a way to do that. Some of you are thinking, well, then you're being so generic that it's not even helpful. No, that's absolutely not true, because I do it all the time. So I might say, okay, you guys, and there's another thing you can do is I don't have to tell them that it was yesterday. I don't have to tell them that it was 3 weeks ago. I can say, okay, you guys, I have an ongoing situation on my team that I continue to learn from, but I'm realizing that I don't think I know how to do this as well as I thought I did. So I wanted to bring it to you guys. I want ideas. I want you to help me figure out how to resolve this and how to be a better leader. So you see how I'm in the middle of a problem. I'm not waiting till the problem's over or it's resolved. I just wait till I process it enough that I can add value. Because if I have this question, guess what? There are a lot of people who are following me who also have this problem. So they're going to be excited to hear the answers that all these people give. So the way let's say it's a leader who is dishonest, keeps lying, and does this with the people that they're talking to in the business, when they invite people to share the product or whatever. It's kind of a big deal. And I don't want this reputation on my team. In fact, I'm to the point where I'm kind of ticked off at this person. I'm sick of dealing with it. Okay, so this is how I might approach it on my social media. I would say, okay, you guys, so I need some help with my leadership skills, because this is something I've been dealing with, and I'm realizing that I am not figuring it out very well. So I'm going to explain it to you, and then I want you to tell me if you have good advice. Comment. If you know a book I could read that would help me get better at this, then list the books that you love that were awesome at this. Now, do you think I'm going to point out that the person lies? No, because that's probably not as common. And so the person's going to know exactly who you're talking about. So I would say something like this. I might say, so I have someone on my team who, as I work with them, they are handling things in a way that I feel doesn't have integrity. The way that they're talking to people, the things that they say to people, I don't agree with the way that is. Now, I realize that we all have different opinions about what is showing integrity or what is appropriate behavior. But I think this behavior is one that, and of course, I mean, I've had this across the board on my team. So you see how I open it up so it doesn't just point at one person. I've had this in different situations with different kinds of characteristics or character traits. And so, there are a few different ones that this would really help me if you guys could help me learn how to do this better. But in a situation where you feel like, hey, the way the person on my team is handling this is a way that I am not comfortable with, it doesn't feel like we are having integrity with these people. How do I handle that? What's a good way to be a good team leader? I feel like I've had crucial conversations with this person. I've read the book, Crucial Conversations, but I feel like somehow I'm missing something. And I don't know if it's because I'm not setting my boundaries right. I'm not sure if it's that I'm, and I might share a little bit about, I'm getting really good at this skill, but I'm working on boundaries and I'm working on this or that. Or I'm working on making sure my leaders feel cared about enough so that when I do bring up a hard topic that they are interested, because if they don't feel like I care about them. So I might share a little bit about my lack, the things I need to work on, and that this is partly why I'm not figuring this out. Take responsibility on yourself. And then I would say, so if you know of a book, if you know of someone who is amazing at this that I could interview on my podcast that would be great at discussing this topic, whatever, anything that you think will help me, please put it in the comments. Let me know. And I would love to learn from you guys. Because guess what? In my social media, I'm trying to give a lot of value. Well, what do you think it feels like when they finally get to help you? People love it. They get to feel connected. And then when you call them out because you thought their comment was awesome, it really helps people feel awesome. So just make sure that you're not the whiner, the complainer. You know what? My husband's late again, and I'm always left taking care of the kids, and then I'm late to my job because he doesn't get home. Or have you seen people maybe going through a divorce, or they're going through a health challenge, that it's complain, which, you guys, I am not saying that you're not going through hard stuff, and it is not for me to even be in a position of judgment. But I will tell you, if you are trying to attract people to your social media, that is the worst thing you can do. You can talk about the struggle and what you are doing to try to overcome it. And that is what lifts people up. And you can be honest about how hard it is. I'll tell you what, one of the people who became so famous really fast on social media was a girl who her whole body had been burned because she was in an airplane crash. And so now she has scars on much of her body, including her face. And she shared how some of what she went through, how she didn't want her kids to see her like that, how she felt like not living. And it was for real. This wasn't just, oh, you guys, I felt like not living. No, she shared some of those things, but she added value. So people got to go through the story with her, got to feel with her what it must be like. But everybody has similar emotions. They're just about different things. So walk them through the emotion with you, but help them rise above it and be better in some small way because they listened to what you had to say about it. That's my tip for today. Practice that. Look for ways that you're doing that. Notice it in other people's social media and see how it affects you when you hear, and how when they're adding value, it's so powerful, and when they're not adding value, it's a turnoff. Okay, good luck with that, and I will see you in the next episode.